Time to pull up a chair. We've got another great story for you today in the rLounge. If there's one thing that's certain in life, it's that some family members have zero chill. Today in the rLounge, the theme is clear. Personal boundaries are more of a suggestion than a rule to them. Up first, how to set fire to your family tree. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my mother-in-law hold my baby after she told my husband to get a paternity test? I, 28 female, gave birth to my first child, a beautiful baby girl, 3 weeks ago. My husband, 30 male, and I have been over the moon, but his mother has been causing nonstop drama. From the start, she made snide comments about how I trapped her son, even though we've been happily married for 4 years. When I got pregnant, she constantly joked about how the baby might not be his. I brushed it off as her usual passive-aggressive behavior, until I found out she took it way further. 2 days after I gave birth, my husband got a text from his mom saying, "You should get a DNA test. You never know these days." I was devastated when I saw it. My husband was furious and told her off, saying he had zero doubts about me and that her comment was disgusting. She tried to backtrack, saying she was just looking out for him. Now she wants to come over and meet the baby, but I told my husband that she will not be holding our daughter. If she wants to question whether my child is even her grandchild, then she doesn't get the privilege of bonding with her. My husband understands why I'm upset, but he thinks we should let her come just once, so she doesn't play the victim with the rest of the family. Now she's crying to everyone, saying I'm keeping her granddaughter from her, and that I'm punishing her over a harmless question. Some family members think I'm being dramatic and should be the bigger person. But why should I let someone who disrespected me and my child hold her like nothing happened? Am I the a-hole for refusing to let her hold my baby? Let's see if the community thinks so, yes or no. First up, not the a-hole. She'll find ways to play the victim even if you've not done anything wrong, so might as well set your boundaries. Also, just to add to that, that's not a harmless question at all. She's indirectly accusing you of cheating and asking her son not to trust you. Unless she has extremely valid reasons, which she doesn't in this case, that's just so disrespectful. Next thought. If it's such a harmless question, make a big deal of asking him to get a DNA test to see who his father is. Someone else chimes in. How about we do get a DNA test done? We let everyone know we are doing this because she feels it is necessary, so she is sure our baby is yours. We also let everyone know when it comes back as yours, your mom will be permanently banned from seeing our child or me, or at least until your mom provides a DNA test proving that you are your dad's son. This is me being the bigger person. Someone else chimes in. Ha! This is a genius idea. If she's so concerned about proving family ties, let's take it all the way. Next comment. Ask her if she's projecting, then suggest your husband and any siblings to take a paternity test to see if he is actually his father's. Turn the tables on her. Another opinion goes like this. I'm worried she'll use the opportunity of holding and bonding with the baby to steal a DNA sample. I mean, babies do drool on everything. Next person says, that's what my mother-in-law did. She offered to watch my baby while I rested, still in the hospital after a 56-hour labor, and hubby had gone home to sleep. She did a cheek swab on my baby while I was asleep. Furious is an understatement. The overall judgment was not the a-hole. Update. 2 days later. Well, I wish I could say things got better, but mother-in-law made sure that didn't happen. After my husband told her off, I thought she'd at least try to apologize, but instead she doubled down. She started calling my husband, telling him I was turning him against his own mother, and that I was overreacting to a simple question. She even pulled the classic victim act, crying to the rest of the family about how I was keeping her grandbaby from her. Then, things took a ridiculous turn. I found out from my sister-in-law that mother-in-law was actually trying to get a DNA test done behind our backs. Apparently, she was hoping to get a strand of my baby's hair or some spit to confirm the truth. When my sister-in-law told me, I was absolutely done. I told my husband that until she apologizes, not a fake "I'm sorry you're mad" apology, but a real one, she is not welcome around me or my daughter. Thankfully, my husband backed me up 100%. He told his mother that if she can't respect his wife and child, then she doesn't deserve to be part of our lives. Mother-in-law lost it. She went full drama mode, telling everyone I was tearing the family apart and that she might never recover from this heartbreak. At this point, I don't even care. She disrespected me. She disrespected my marriage, and she disrespected my child. Actions have consequences. So yeah, mother-in-law still hasn't met the baby, and unless she does some serious apologizing and self-reflection, she won't be anytime soon. Am I the a-hole? Let's check back with the community for some more opinions. First one. Win stupid games, get stupid prizes. She effed around and found out. Glad hubby is behind you 100%. The next opinion says, I'm so very sorry. How effed up is this? Not only an apology, mom also needs a full psychiatric workup. The OP responds, but my broken heart, it's okay. One more person says, she believes the child isn't her granddaughter, so she has no cause for heartbreak. No problem, nothing to see here. The OP responds, exactly. If she's convinced the baby isn't her granddaughter, then why is she playing the victim now? She should be relieved that she doesn't have to worry about a child she doesn't even consider family. Honestly, I wouldn't let her near the baby either. Not just because she disrespected you in your marriage, but because I would not put it past her to sneak a DNA test behind your back. Hell, we've seen what mother-in-laws are capable of. And if your husband is worried about keeping the peace, remind him that mother-in-law set this bridge on fire herself, then tried to play the victim when she got burned. If someone accused you of cheating right after giving birth, then demanded access to your baby, how would you handle it? Would you set strict boundaries or try to keep the peace? Let us know below. Up next, a prom dress and the price of standing your ground. Am I the a-hole for ignoring the suit my mother bought me after she threw away the dress I bought for my graduation? English is not my first language, so sorry if I have mistakes. I, 23 female, I'm about to graduate from college. The party will be in 2 months, but the photographic session will be next week. One of my goals since I entered my career was that when I graduated, I would use a dress that would suit me. Some might think that I could just rent a dress that I'll probably just use once or twice in my life, but I really mean it when I said that this was the moment I'd be waiting for years. So, the last few weeks I had been looking for dresses in different boutiques. I went with several people in different times. One of them was my mother. And that time I found a dress that not only suited me like a glove, it was like a green long dress, and immediately I loved it. The problem my mother had? It had a low neckline. You see, my mother is a modest woman, someone who may be scandalized when a dress is above the knees or the neckline shows even a little bit of cleavage. So, despite she admitted that the dress fit me, I shouldn't buy it, as I might attract unwanted looks, especially as I have a big cup. I already had therapy about it, so some insecurities that affected her no longer affect me. Still, I wanted to get in a middle point. I liked that one dress, and despite I was going to be the one buying it, I wanted to make her comfortable. I proposed using a shawl. I felt fine with it, and it might be useful if, when I use it, it's cold outside, and my mother agreed with that. With the green light on, I bought the dress and a few days later, a shawl that would suit the dress. Everything was fine so far until 2 days ago, when I returned home after returning from school from continuing with my thesis, already working on that, to get something to eat, bath and change to going to work, when I noticed my dress wasn't in the wardrobe. I put it there, hanging, to avoid my cat's hair on it. It was there in the morning, so I was confused. I asked my siblings and they didn't know anything about it. My father wasn't in the city, so I directly asked my mom, who was in the kitchen watching TV while cutting potatoes. Something like, Mom, do you know where my dress is? Ah, I threw it. Excuse me? What did you mean you threw it? Today passed the garbage truck, so I threw it. Why did you throw it? I swear I felt like crying at that moment. She said something like, I wasn't convinced at all with that dress. That shawl didn't cover you at all, and your dad agreed with me, so yesterday I bought you a suit for your photos and party. Really, I wasn't hearing it all at that moment. I couldn't believe what she was saying. I just ran outside, foolishly hoping that magically a black garbage bag would be outside. I didn't pay attention to that when I came home from school, but no, the garbage truck must have passed early. I thought that maybe my mother was joking. Why? Why did my parents do that? I thought they agreed with me. What about the money I spent on it? I didn't ask any of it from them. I bought it with the money I made working part-time in a bubble tea shop. I ran to her room and saw her wardrobe. Neither was there. As I was crying, she entered her room with a gray suit in her arms. It was exactly the kind of clothes my mother would choose for me. Usually, I liked suits too. I used them when I'm going for a conference in my college. But at that moment, I honestly couldn't believe the audacity of my parents, specifically my mother. When my father returned yesterday, he gave me a bunch of bills, around $300, saying that it was for the dress my mother threw. On that way, my money would not be wasted. That money felt dirty. I didn't want it. Probably my father still felt guilty about agreeing with my mother, so he gave me that and made himself feel better. Of course, he didn't accept a no as an answer. On one hand, I understand where my mother is coming from. She bought that suit with her money, as she hasn't stopped telling me that from yesterday. She said that I would look better in the suit. I haven't proven it yet. That my green dress would have made me uncomfortable with the looks I would gain from the guests or males. And as my father already gave me money, I actually didn't lose anything. Half of me is starting to doubt, thinking resignedly that maybe she's right, and I'm just acting overdramatic. The other part of me wants to throw everything away, ignore that suit, and go and look for a second option the last week I have before the photographic session. Am I the a-hole if I do it? I don't know if I resigned or to go at least to the photo session in a suit or ignore her, risking me to the same happening again. I don't know if I would use the $300. As I said, it felt dirty to me, but I don't know where to get more money to do the last-minute shopping. Let's see what the community thinks. Not the a-hole. Can you use the money to buy the same dress again or hide it from your mother until it's time for pictures? Maybe at a friend's house. Someone else says, not the a-hole. Go back to the boutique, rebuy the dress, hide it, maybe with a friend, wear it to the shoot. Tell your mom that her insecurities are no longer yours and you love your body. Also tell her she has lost all your trust for the foreseeable future because of her controlling behavior. Not the a-hole. You're not the a-hole, OP. Your mother's behavior was completely out of line. It's one thing for her to express her opinion about the dress, but throwing away something you bought with your own money is controlling and disrespectful. She didn't just disagree with your choice, she took it upon herself to make the decision for you, completely disregarding your feelings, and your father handing you $300 doesn't erase what happened. It's not just about the money, it's about trust. Update. Hi. Honestly, I didn't expect doing an update, neither having such attention when I made my first post a month ago, so thank you very much. I'm sorry I didn't answer all of you. I was overwhelmed seeing the amount of comments, so yeah. As I said before, I didn't expect to make an update, but I guess I need to vent. Yes, I had the photographic session, and no, I haven't had my prom party yet. It's next month, but I guess I'll go for parts. I apologize in advance if this is long. I'm taking the opportunity to say my thoughts among them. First, on the previous post, I left apart my siblings, as I don't have a closer relationship with them as people that have lived in the same roof for all their lives should. We can talk about certain things as TV shows, movies, games, music, and other media, but we don't talk about our matters. That's the reason why I got surprised when my older sister, 26 female, offered me around $60. She told me that it was a shame what our mother did, that I looked good on that dress and I should look for something similar. It was a pleasant surprise, the fact that my sister approached to me to show her support. I usually wouldn't accept the money. I don't like the idea of having a debt. But considering everything that happened, I felt grateful for it. So I used my free days next week to find something similar to my dress. As I said on one comment, as expected, on the shop I bought it, it was the last one. When I got it, I felt lucky that the last dress suited me so well, but that luck punched me at the end. Still, I found another dress. It was a blue one, in my taste. It wasn't as pretty as the green one, but suited me well, was cheaper than the green one, and was better than using the gray suit, so I bought it. Another thing that I didn't comment is that I didn't want to use all the money I had. With the money my sister gave me, the $300 my father gave me as a compensation, and around $210 I saved before, I knew I could buy even a more expensive one than the green one, but some of your comments made me think that long term. I didn't comment on the previous post, but I was already planning on going to another state to start a master's. I like the field of investigation. My thesis is pretty much about microplastics and degrading process. My original plan was get my title and start saving money to move out, finalizing the year and the next cycle. When I told my parents my plan months ago, they told me they support me, that they are with me, financially and emotionally, but this experience with the dress made me wonder if that was really true. I know that moving out and using a dress are two completely different things, but my mother told me she was fine with the dress, with the condition of using a shawl too, and then she threw it. It made me rethink about the control my mother got over my decisions, and I concluded that she was always like that, just that I didn't notice it as, mostly, she did what she wanted on things that I rested importance. My father is no different. He's more passive than my mom, but he mostly agrees with her and then tries to wash his hands giving me, or my siblings, something in compensation. So it made me wonder if they truly support me on moving out or just are pretending, waiting for a moment to tell me I can't move out as something happened. Or maybe I should enter the mastery in our state, despite I have no interest on the options here. Well, for that reason I decided I want to save money. I already talked with my thesis advisor that, if possible, I want to end the thesis sooner than originally intended. I started to look for scholarships too. I had pretty good grades, so I guess that can help the process. And of course, I prefer to save money on the dress. Some of you suggested that I should burn the suit in front of my mom, but despite making me laugh with the idea, I didn't do that. Instead, I asked a friend to keep the blue dress in her house until the photographic session. I didn't comment about it to my parents, and the day before the session, I went to my friend's house for the dress. It's obvious to say that my mom wasn't happy about the idea of me not using the suit. The moment I walked downstairs, she told me I made her waste money, that I would look more professional in the suit, and that I wasted my dad's money on it too. Still, she didn't complain about the dress design. I guess she wasn't as triggered as with the green one. It doesn't have a low cleavage as the green one, but it has a Grecian cut. So I guess that was more acceptable in her eyes. That doesn't make me feel better, honestly. My father didn't comment on it. He just told me I looked good, but I should dress in the suit in the party then. I already planned that they would appear in the same photographic session, so I didn't uninvite them. Again, in the long term, I can't stop talking with them until I move out. So they and my siblings went to the photographic session. Last week, the photographer sent us the digital version of the family session. I'm not going to lie, they felt bittersweet, but it's what I have. I didn't talk much about the party or the dress topic with my parents the next month. I have been more focused on finishing the thesis and working in that bubble tea shop to save money. It's good to say that I'm finishing 1.5 months earlier than expected. I already had most of the experimentation from last year, so it was mostly bibliographic research and a few experimentations to see its replication. If everything goes well, I'll be presenting next month. During this month, I made several exams too. That and the first 2 tests to enter into a master's. My objective is to gain a good scholarship, so I can move out before finishing the first part of the year. I feel kind of rushed, but I won't follow my original plan. I haven't talked about it with any member of my family either. I've been thinking about talking about it with my older sister, but I'm still deliberating. About the party, I'll be using the blue dress too. Maybe I'll use the suit someday, but right now, I can't think about it. I still relate the suit to my parents and everything that it entails. The green dress topic still tastes bittersweet to me. Like, in a way, it was a Pandora's box. A very pretty Pandora's box. But I'm not going to lie, I'm still kind of nervous about the prom. It's the day I've been expecting for years. Despite the bittersweet taste, I can't help but feel expectant. And some of your comments on the previous post made me laugh, and the ones made me rethink about my plans of life. Honestly, I think if I didn't have the post here, I would just use the gray suit to avoid any discussion, and I wouldn't see the big problem here. So thanks, unknown people of the internet. Maybe I'll post if something big happens, but if not, consider everything has gone well. Again, thank you. A couple more final comments. First up, be sure to keep your savings and documents somewhere truly safe. They already proved that they don't respect your boundaries. I'd be afraid that the next step would be them borrowing your money or losing your personal identification paperwork. Another person chimes in, you know you can't trust them, so be smart. Don't tell them about the blue dress. Keep it hidden. Lock it if you can. And if you have a friend you can trust, ask them to keep it for you. Don't bring up the topic of you leaving. Don't talk about savings and leaving. If they ask about your future plans, say you're still not decided. Good luck. It's clear that this isn't just about a dress. It's about realizing how much control your parents try to exert over you and deciding to take your own independence into your own hands. It's great to hear that your sister stepped up to support you. You're making all the right moves by working, finishing your thesis early, and applying for scholarships. It might feel rushed, but honestly, the sooner you secure your independence, the better. Trust your instincts and keep your important documents and money in a safe place where they can't get them. Have your parents ever tried to do something similar to you? Share your experiences with us. And thank you for joining us today in the rLounge. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Until next time. And please put your chair back where you found it.